Studioloo. It's Cindy. I'm here with a journal flip through for you today. So this is the first of the summer flea market traveler's notebook journal series. There will be 12 of these in total, but they'll kind of be staggered in being released in videos and popped into my Etsy shop. So let's just jump on in. So this journal, the cover is made from a masterboard that I collaged. It has a bound fabric spine that's been stitched on, and the whole thing is sealed and stitched around, so it's a nice kind of sturdy, nice in the hand kind of journal. On the back there is a patchwork pocket that I made from various fabrics, and it is tied closed with some navy blue vintage seam binding. There are eyelets in the front and the back of the journal to close it, essentially. So then we just open it on up. And on the inside, there is fabric that backs the entire backside of the cover. It is a vintage, really colorful, fun fabric. It's actually from a vintage dress, and then this is just some nice blue to green ombre fabric. In the front pocket, there's a journal card here that's made from a playing card that's been collaged with this little fairy. And in the back, it says "Grew in the Wood," and that just pops in there. And the first page is this really cute vintage photo of these two little kids hanging out in the crotch of a tree. Super cute. That's an authentic photo from like the 50s. Behind you'll see a coffee dyed botanical paper, and in this tuck spot there is a postcard from the Mayor's Procession in Oxford, and this is a vintage postcard. It's been written on. It doesn't have a date of the author's writing, but it's 19 something. I can't quite see that last number, but it's got some cool text, and it's been water stained over the years. Then this is a file folder, like a mini file folder that I've inked up. These fun markings, actually, they come from, this was inside of like one of those like 45 cases, like the vinyl cases, and people were using them to separate records. So I don't know what caused these punches, but they're pretty cool. And then I just put these little these are little candy advertisement stickers, and so lots of journaling space there, and those just tuck on in there. And then on the other side, we just have a little collage down here with this lovely die cut butterfly and some different papers. This is vintage ledger. Oops, we have a thread here. Lots of sewing going on in these journals, so you'll see lots of little threads here and there. Then we have a little chubby robin at the bottom. And this is a flipped up pocket with some fabric here. And this is a journal card that is collaged, and it says "Flowers Blowing in the Wind." It's backed with avocado dyed paper. This is a cabbage dyed digital. On the back we have a fabric pocket with this thistle journal card inside. And then this is just a beautiful watercolory kind of paper, all in blues. And this is a vintage punch-in, punch-out card from an old workplace. And inside is this little journal card of this lake scene. This is cabbage dyed paper with a little fabric tab. And then we have this vintage napkin themed pocket here. And inside is this fun tag that I made from some lovely yellow corduroy fabric and a vintage applique napkin, and I just stitched it. On this side we have this really sweet scene of this squirrel and a bird's nest up in a tree, and there's some lace down the side here. And on this side, just on with a paper, a rusty paper clip. This is from an old 50s Brownies book. If you're not familiar with the Brownies, they're kind of like the younger generation to Girl Guides. So this is a Brownies test, and all the different things that they're tested on from this vintage Brownies book. And then on the back, there's a picture of a brownie. That just tucks up there. And on this side we have, this is a jelly printed music paper pocket with this nice floral washi on the front. And this is a tag that I collaged from a vintage children's book, and it says early in the summer. Coffee dyed paper, and this is actually watercolor paper. And then this is just a nice digital with some nice lines on it, and then a little piece of cabbage dyed paper for a tab. And then up in the top we have a vintage playing card with a clown, and inside is a vintage flower card on florist's cyclamen, and then a vintage photo from 1951. This is an authentic photo of this really cute family. And that just pops up there. Then we have a little fabric collage with some lace at the bottom that's been stitched onto this page that has a tree in the background. This side we have this little fairy kind of girl down here, and this is a pocket also made from the Brownie book, and then this is some eco printed botanically dyed fabric, cotton fabric. And then this is a little journal card that said, "The woman had a voracious appetite for art," and that just pops right up in there. This is cabbage dyed paper. This is from a moth and butterfly field guide. It's about the Polyphemus moth and the Promethea moth. And then this is Trees by Sarah Coleridge. This is actually from a children's printing page. And this is a pocket made from that same vintage Brownies guide. It says, "But the fairies kept dancing," and it has these little fairies with a mushroom and some butterflies. And it's on this. This was the back cover of the book, and it's very weathered. It's kind of plasticky. It's a really nice feeling piece of paper. Then we just have this botanical paper at the back, and inside is a piece of paper with some mushrooms, amanita, toadstool mushrooms. And then this is more of the vintage Brownie book. It's another of those test pages that I made a pocket out of with a little vintage stamp there. And inside is a collaged journal card with this sweet little bird. And that just pops in here. This is just a pretty page with some flowers and a tab made from fabric, cabbage dyed. This is a paper bag, and I've again used that Brownie book, and I've collaged here, and then inside it says on the back, Girl Guides, Guides to Canada 1965, and it has more of those little guys. They're like little fairies or little elves that appear throughout the book. It's very sweet. And that just pops right on in the little sack. Then on this side, this is actually a digital, a drawing that I did. And on this side we have a side tuck of, this is a collaged pocket. It says "Land over which he flew," and it has a butterfly there, and then this Toulouse goose down here. And tucked inside is this beautiful stitched around botanical envelope, and inside we just have a little golden journal card. And that just tucks in here. And on this side, this is a Rorschach painted page that I did in another video, and then a couple of pieces of vintage ephemera. So first is this little writing school kind of card that says "Put," just a little journal card. And then this is from 1971, August the 11th. It is a letter from the owner of a weaving store, and it's about an order that was being made for yarn samples. And so the paper is old and cottony and lovely, and you could use the back for journaling on, or if you're just a collector of old ephemera, then that is there for you to decide what you want to do with. But again, these are my vintage Flea-Market summer traveler's notebooks, I'm thinking a lot about, like, you know, what is a fun summer to me? So it's a lot of nature, going to antique markets, flea markets, you know, just having a lot of fun, kind of trying to experience a little bit of childhood in the season when we can get outside a lot. This is the center of the journal. So this is a single signature journal. There are 30 pages in this journal. And then this is the back side of the Rorschach. I just kind of did some painting here and there with some nice bright colors, and there's some stitching that you can see from this side because we have a vintage doily here. And then this is a little tag, and that just tucks right on in here. And then up here, this is a rusty paper clip holding onto this journal card that I made. This is from a vintage bird book cover, and it says, "Never knew unhappiness again." So they're two happy little birds. And that's cabbage dyed paper. And again, this is my digital. This is the other side of that paper bag, and on the back here we have and the journal card. They're from the same source. So this is a book about different sayings, like that we relate to, you know, activities in life, like the early bird catches the worm, and then it defines what that means. Start before others do for the best chance of success. And it has this robin getting a worm, and that just pops in here. And this one is to stir up a hornet's nest or to start a great deal of trouble. So I thought those were pretty cute. I have a really cute book that has a whole bunch of those kind of sayings in it. And then this is cabbage dyed paper with a rusty paper clip. And I've just clipped on some vintage ephemera here. This is a newspaper clipping from October 10th, 1934, when the fathers met at Quebec, by Fred Williams. And then there's this horse plowing match on the back. And then this is a vintage postcard that has not been written on of this family, and it is a tin type. You can see in the light how it has that silvery look to it. And those just pop on here. And that's on the back of this beautiful digital paper. And this is sort of a double pocket. So the upper pocket is made from coffee dyed music paper. And there's a fabric tab up here, and then this is the other side of that brownie marking guide page, and I use that for the second pocket. So in that little second pocket we have this sweet little image of these toads, and that's a journal card, and it just pops in here. And then this is a tag that I made. It says "Return to the lake once more," and it has a denim tag topper, and it's been all stitched around. And then just some beautiful botanical paper. And the other side of that, children's writing paper. And this is just a page from a children's book that has this cute fish and coral scene. And on the back it has a crab, and it says, "The decorator crab is drab and will not rest until it's dressed." So the back of that is coffee dyed paper. I just think that these little traveler's notebooks, they're the appropriate fun size if you're taking, like I'm taking a camping trip in a week, and I'm going to take one with me, and I'm just going to like stick my photos and anything I collect in my journal. And I think it's a really nice way to kind of commemorate our time spent. This is cabbage dyed paper, and rusty paper clipped on is this. This is like a vintage packing slip that you would use to document the money when you were putting it in a deposit. I don't know if it was for rolling or something, but you would be able to write like what business it was from, and you would be able to write your numbers on there for each denomination of money. So that just clips on there. Funny vintage stuff. Now on this side we have this, this is a digital ledger. It has a little moth up here and some botanicals down here. On this side we have sort of a little pathway in the woods, and there is a fabric ruffle on this side. On the back side I've just got this little bulb clip with a little leaf, a little metal leaf here. And on this side, we have this, the Sunshine, and this is just a little coffee dyed vintage paper. This is coffee dyed paper. And on this side we have a double pocket. So this is botanical paper underneath, and then this is actually a window envelope. So there's acetate here. It's like your junk mail envelope, and I've stitched around it, lace on the top and a little fabric and lace at the bottom. And in this back tuck spot, this is actually a tag made from the cover of that Brownie manual. So I loved the image so much, and I thought it would make a really special piece of ephemera. And then if you open the little pocket here, you can hear that crinkling, and there's just this little eye tag, and that goes right on in here. And you can see in the background there's some vintage napkin imagery, and you get that little eye just looking out at you there. And then this is coffee dyed watercolor paper, and up here we have a tuck spot and a journal card that says "Before I Meet a Fairy," and it's stitched around. Here we have a tab that's made from fabric and some vintage buttons. And a little squirrel here. This is another of the vintage napkin or wallpaper digital. It's from Amity Bloom. And then this is a journal card that I made with these beautiful ducks on it. And that just pops right in here. There's cabbage dyed paper in behind it. This side we just have this little leaf here. And then this is another cabbage dyed paper, but it's actually a nice blue digital paper. And paper clipped on there with a rusty paper clip, we have this envelope that I made. This is made from vintage music paper that was jelly printed. Then I've added this vintage ribbon trim. It's like an embroidered trim. And then this beautiful fussy cut woman. I just really like that image. And the back, more painting, a little goose friend there, and the inside has a map, the inside of the envelope. And then on the inside is this large journaling card that says, "The sun on her wings and all of it free, it must be quite wonderful being a bee." And I made this entirely from children's book pages, so that just tucks right on in here. This is a really sturdy envelope. It's been all stitched around as well, so it's a thick and sturdy envelope. So it just tucks on here like this, and you just pop the paper clip on here. Are we all the way in? Yes, okay. There we go. Actually, I think I had that on the top. What am I doing? Makes it easier to just put it on the top. There we go. And then this is Easter egg dyed paper. I just got to pull this envelope out a little bit here. Little adjustment. There we go. Okay, and then this is a digital paper with these amazing irises. This is vintage ledger that I've stitched a ruffle pocket at the bottom, and it's shorter than the rest. And this is a journal card that I made. It's like a specimen tag that I added acetate to. This is my own foraged ginkgo leaf, and a book page that says "The Fifth Day" in the back. And that just tucks right into this this pocket here. I'm so used to having these top pockets. This is cabbage dyed paper. And on the back, a cabbage dyed pocket with this beautiful flower. Botanical paper on the back, and this is a tag that I made, just this beautiful image and this moth. This is my own eco printed fabric on top. And at the back we have this upper patchwork pocket that matches the one at the back here. And inside I've included a couple of things. So this is just a really nice journal card that has, I added some speckled metallic paint drops to it, but it's a master's art, you know. And I think, again, like summer for me is like flea markets and antique shops, and you know, so that's why I included a lot of art elements. This is my 74th journal, so this is the little note from the bookmaker that I'm including in there, and I have signed and dated it and added the number of the journal. And so on the back we have this tag, and you can see more collaging here at the back. And this tag, this is a nice heavy tag, and this is all linen, the fabric on the front and the tab at the top. And this is actually from a vintage tea towel that was never used before. I got a set of 2 of them, and they have these amazing roses on them. So that just tucks right in there. So that is this journal, which I haven't given a name to yet. I will give it a name when I put it in my Etsy shop. It'll probably be quite inspired by this butterfly on the front. So yeah, this will be the first video that I'm filming so far of this journal series of 12. So expect to see many more coming your way. So thank you so much for joining me for this video, and I will see you again really soon in the next one. If you'd like to check out my Etsy shop or any of my social media information, you can do so down below in the description box. Thanks again. Take care.